Hey guys, welcome back to another strategy testing video. Today I got a pretty exciting one. So I'm going to share with you two of my favorite strategies I'm currently using. One of them is really new. It's literally based off the last video I posted and I played last night with it. I called it sliding dozens, but I found out that it came from Todd Hoover and he calls it slide rule. I used it last night. Right out the gate, back-to-back losses, dropped 20 bucks, but ended up profiting a little over 50 bucks on the night using $5 units. I'm going to show you that one today, but I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to try to stack the strategies together. Why would I want to stack the strategies together? That's because it creates some overlapping jackpot numbers, high coverage, and it kind of hedges some bets. So I will, let's just jump right into it and I'll explain as we go and I will talk in between. So let me show you how we're going to play this one. So I'm stacking I guess I'll call it by its proper name. The originator, Todd, said it's a slide rule. So basically, previous video, I called it sliding dozens. So we're going to use that one and we're coupling it with one of my favorite versions of Kentucky White's moving corners. Okay, so the bets are going to be offset. So we're going to use $5 chips for the corners. So let's lay in the corners. You can lay these in however you want, but I'm starting at 6 corner coverage, okay, at $5 a piece. And what I'm looking for as far as ratio, I played around with this a few different ratios, meaning let me lay out the bets and I'll explain that a little bit better. So let's go ahead and put down the dozens. So the ratio right here is 1 to 2. So if you're using dollar units, it's going to be $1 and $2 on the dozens. I played around with the 1 to 3 ratio and had some success with that too, but I feel like this is a solid combination for how much coverage you have. So you will have some overlapping jackpots, but you will also have some partial losses, right? And that just kind of slows down that progression so you don't have to be overly aggressive playing one strategy and going up too high, too quick. Okay, so let's start the test, and this is going to be spin number 1. And I'm basically going to play them how they're played out by themselves, but coupled together as one strategy. Meaning, I'm going to play the Kentucky White's moving corner variation that I have going right now, the way that it's already made, along with the slide rule. But if they reset or if they get me in a new session profit, I'm playing it together in that sense. Okay, so we start off with the hit right off the bat, so we are not adjusting any bets yet. Spin number 2. All right, back-to-back hits. Good start. But what's most important is to see its resiliency and its recovery. And we'll grade that at the end too. I just added the recovery rate as a grade. So we got a partial loss right there. All right, so we're going to rebet. We're going to see that the dozens hit. So those dozens do not move, okay? What we're going to do with the corners is now I'm going to peel off. Oops. I'm going to go back and I am going to, oh man, sorry. Take that off. And I'm going to peel off one corner, keeping it at a $5 bet for the corners. And this one I made an adjustment since a few videos back I was peeling off 3 corners, but I'm going to stop it at 4. Okay, so we got a push right there. Pushes don't hurt, so those corners hit. The corners stay there. And then what I'm going to do next is take these dozens off. And according to the slide rule, and I'm going off my variation. I feel like it's just a little bit safer. So then I'm going to go up 1 unit, adding it to that 3rd dozen that just hit. So let's see if we could get a repeater and hopefully a jackpot number. And we did not. We got a 19 red. That's a total miss. Okay, so let's rebet, see where we are at. We're going to peel off 1 more corner. This is the most corners we're going to peel off. Again, the corner bets are still flat right now. Now we're going to switch this back over, and we're at a $20 bet, so now we're bumping it up 1 more unit. So we're going to be at $30. All right, let's spin and see what we get here. So currently we drop down minus 15 after that last loss. We get a 2 black. A 2 black is a jackpot number. Let's see where that put us. we are in a new session profit of 40 bucks off of that one hit. So I'm going to go ahead and reset everything, meaning I'm going to go keep these here at 10 apiece. That's the starting point for the sliding dozens, or the slide rule, sorry. And then I'm going to just shuffle around the corner bets and new positions, all right? But I'm starting at 6 corners covered. So let's spin, see what we get here. There's a nice $25 hit. Everything, both of them hit, so both bets, both strategies stay where they're at. Spin again. We're up 65 bucks. All right, 31 hit on the corners. So the corners will stay there, but we're going to shift and slide this bet over, adding 1 unit. So we're at a $20 bet on third dozen. It'd be nice to get an overlap on this hit right here, on this spin. 32 red, I think that's a hit. Jackpot hit, 55 bucks. New session high is at $115. And we go ahead and reset our bets, all of them. Again, we're playing 2 different strategies, stacking them, trying to capitalize off both of them. I know both of them work great on their own. I'm just trying to see, and that's another way of making your own strategy and making it more powerful, is to stack them. But not all strategies stack well with each other. Okay, so it's really just finding a complementary strategy to stack with each other. And of course, that offset, right? So that 1-to-2 ratio I'm talking about, or 2-to-1 ratio I'm talking about. All right, reset, back to base we go. This is spin number 10. We're up 115. All right, 8 black is a hit on both, so they will stay the same. We are at base level bet. New session high is 140, guys. And 13 black comes in. 13 black is a hit on the dozen, a miss on the corners, so we're simply just going to peel one off. And I think, now that I'm thinking about it, again, this is the first test run. I want to do this really because I want to see if this will work well, so I can use it personally. Online is where I prefer to play. And I'm looking at it now. I just want to pause real quick and show you something. So playing the peeling off game, it may be smartest to pick a corner to peel off in the covered dozen areas. That way the hedge plays better. The hedge bet plays better on that uncovered dozen. All right, so let's go ahead and spin again, see what we get here. Let's see if it works. All right, we hit both of them. Let's see, we are up in a new session profit. And I've thought about, with this one, because of the coverage, setting milestone goals. But I think, honestly, it's safer and better just to reset as soon as you're at or above session profit. All right, and then obviously being flexible with the betting, meaning that you really want to continuously move your corners around. Make sure the bets are right. Yep, we're gonna spin again. And that's why I like that slide rule, because it's shifting back and forth with the dozens. I've seen so many dozen strategies where it just stays stagnant, and that just ends up hurting you. All right, so we got a partial miss right there. We got a hit on the corners. The corners will stay the same, but we're gonna shift our bet to that third dozen, again, adding 1 unit, all right? So the unit sizes are $5 for the corners, $10 for the dozens. And we got a 28 black. Okay, so that's a win right there. So that means we are going to peel this off because the dozen hit, and that tells us to slide it back over here and reset. Okay, now the corners missed. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off 1 corner. Just like that, spin again. We're up at a new session high of 155. We get a 23 red, and that's a hit on the dozens, a miss on the corners. So let's go ahead and peel off 1 more corner. This is the lowest we're going to peel off for the corners, okay? We haven't progressed this far yet, but if we get another loss right here, I'll explain what we do. Okay, So win on dozens. That stays right there. Now what we do is go back to our unit sizes, 4 corners. We're going to go back up. From 4 is the lowest we're dropping down, right? So 4 times 4, that's 16 numbers covered with the corners. We're going to bump it back up to 6 corner coverage. But from here, we go up 1 unit on all corner bets. And we get a 4 black. That's a nice overlapping win right there. That put us in a new session profit of $170. And like I say, keep it safe. And we're going to go back to base, right? Go back to base and keep it safe. So let's go ahead and shift around those corners again, reset everything, and play. We're trying to play this smart, right? And like I mentioned earlier, I like to get up and get out of the casino. So at this point, I would have left at once we got to that $50 mark. Reason being, we got a nice overlapping hit right there. We're going to repeat the bet and spin again. The reason being is because the longer you are on the table, the more opportunity that house edge has to catch up to you. Okay, so that's why I always preach: get up and get out as soon as possible. Greed is what hampers everyone. You know, I see it so often at the casino when I go to the brick and mortars. People will be up a bunch of money and they just give it back. They want more. They want more. And the casino knows that. That's why they give you a bunch of free drinks. Loosen up that inhibition. All right, repeat. We are on a win streak right now. New session profits at $245. I will take that all day. This is spin number 20, and that's 18 red. 18 red is a hit on the dozens, a miss on the corners, so we're going to peel off 1 corner. Very easy to follow once you get used to it. So again, test this out for yourself. And if you have any variations or modifications to this, I take all input. So just let me know in the comments below. So that's a push right there. Corners hit, they're going to stay right there. We missed on the dozens. Those are going to bump up 1 unit. $20 going on that 3rd dozen. And we spin. Let's see if we could get an overlap right here. Would be nice. 35 black comes in, and I believe that's a nice hit. $60 coming back to us. Just like that, we're up $285. Okay, so far the lowest we've been in the bankroll is -15. So of course, back to base and keep it safe. All right, $5 chip starting at 6 corners. I just noticed I messed that bet up. Let me fix that. And we go $10, 1st and 2nd dozen. Now you could move these dozens around as you wish. You could start from any side. I'm just playing this out so you can visually see a demo. I always love the feedback coming from the Inner Circle Nest because they have great feedback, and it's great to spitball these ideas because just small little adjustments could make all the difference with these strategies. That's why I love, and I'm glad I created this channel. This is a testing based channel. So let's see, 20, 35. Okay, so both hit, so they're going to stay the same. Still at a $50 total bet. New session high is at $310. We're going to log that. 30 red is a hit on corners, miss on dozens. All right, we're shifting the bets on the dozens up to 20. Spin again. All right, another hit. And see, this is what I'm talking about, that hedge bet, right? So we got the hit on the corner. It's only a $5 drop, just like the previous spin. Only dropped $5. But we still will progress the slide rule according to the rule set. So now we go up 1 unit back to the 1st and 2nd dozen. So our high was 310. We're at 300. And that's the worst case scenario. All of them lost. So when they all lose, I'm going to keep my bet here on the dozens. I'm going to increase 1. And I don't know why it didn't repeat the corner bets, but I'm going to place them out. We had 6 covered. So I'm going to put 5, right? So we're peeling off 1. Okay, spin again. Oh, did you guys see that? That is my mistake. That's horrible. All right. Human mistake, human error. That happens. You can see right here, I placed it on the 2019 split. I fat fingered it. It should have been right there. That would have been a nice juicy hit. So I'm going to just keep the bet right here and spin again. Oh, that hurt us. It's all right. Let's see if we could get it back right here. 16 red. 16 red is a hit on the dozens. We're going to keep them right there. And let's peel off a corner bet. We're at the lowest corner coverage. We're going to go. We're at 270. We were at 310 was the high. This is spin number 30. And we get a 33 black. That is a partial miss. So we are going to rebet. And we were at what? 30? No, 40 there. Okay, so we're getting pretty high in the progression. Now we're going to go 50 here. So just 5 units. You could always adjust your unit size if this is a little too much. 33 was a hit on the corners. The corners stay there one more time. If we get another loss on the corner, that's going to trigger us to increase back up to 6 corners. All right, that's what I'm talking about with the partial losses, but now that was an overlapping jackpot hit with that 33 black. We hit that third dozen and a corner, and it shot up to $340 in new session profit. So of course, back to base we go. And let's go ahead and replace. And let me make sure, see right there, let me make sure I place these bets correctly. A little shaky, just had a bunch of coffee. Okay, back to base we are. Spin again. And we get an 8 black. 8 black. So we're at full coverage right now. Nice hit, $25 return. Simply rebet and spin. And I would say too, let's say you accumulate like maybe 2, 3 in a row. Might be smart after three straight wins to readjust your corners. Okay, something to keep in mind. Also aligning with Kentucky White's moving corners, you want to constantly be shifting your bets. All right, 365 is new high. And we get 26 black. That's a miss on the dozens, a hit on the corners. The corners will stay there. And we slide it over to 20 bucks on third dozen. Let's see if we could get another overlap. Come on, repeater. And we didn't get it. So 7 red is a hit on the corners. So we're going to slide the dozen back over, adding a unit. So now we'll go up 3 units on each bet. Corners stay the same. And we're at 355 right now. Our high was 365. Excuse me. And we got a partial miss right there. Let's see what we got. So we hit the corners. The corners will remain the same. And it's chopping from the first 2 dozens to the third. This one's going to go to a $40 hit. A nice overlap right here would be nice. Should reset us. And we got a total whack. All right. This is what I want to see. I want to see how resilient it is when it comes back to recovery. Okay. So that means I'm going to peel off a corner. And I'm going to shift this bet back to the 2 dozens at 50 each. I think we're at 40. We're at 50 each. There we go. So 5 units. Easier to say units. And we get a 3 red. And is that a hit? That's an overlap. That's a nice $70 return. And we're back up to 310. Our high was 365. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rebet and spin again. And you could play around with the progression too. I'm holding on wins. You could back up 1 level on wins just to reduce that volatility. Keep in mind, you can play with this however you want. We missed on both. So we're going to peel off a corner. And then we're shifting this bet over. And it's going to be at 60. So 6 units. All right, this is spin number 40. Let's see what we get here. And we get a 24 black, and 24 black is a hit on the corners, but not on the dozen. All right, super long losing streak right now. We were at 60. Now we're going 7 units. 7 units, and the corners will remain the same. And spin. All right, that is a hit on the dozens, a miss on the corners. Corners will go back up to 6 streets, or 6 corners, sorry. And then we're going to bump those bad boys up 1 unit in the correct positions. All right. Let's see what we get here. And we get 28 black, and 28 black is a full whack. Full whack. Now, we just lost all our profit. All right. Still sticking to the plan. Let's see what we get. So we're going to peel off a corner. And then let me shift these over. We were at a 7 units each bet. Now we go to 8 units. I should have picked 10. Okay. Definitely could use a jackpot right here. And we get 15 black. 15 black is another total whack. All right. 15 black's a total whack. We're going to follow suit, peel this one off. And we're going to drop this off, and we're going to go up to 9 units, the highest we've been so far. All right. Now, minus 130 is the lowest we've been so far. And we get a 7 red. That's an overlap right there. 140 coming back. So we are back up 10 bucks. We're going to hold our bets right here. Spin again. All right. This is spin 45. This is usually where I stop the test. But I'm going to let this cycle through to see if it can come back. Okay. Or if it busts. So we got the hit right there. We're back up 150. We rebet and spin again because both of them hit. And there's another total miss. Again, we're going to ride this out. So this is going to go, let's shift over the dozens first. So we're at 9 units. Now we're going to put 10 units on that third dozen. Now we're going to bump this up. We were at 15, right? Now we go back up to full coverage with the corners. We're putting 3 units on each of the corner bets. All right, so it's a $190 total bet. If you're using dollar chips, it's only going to be $19. Of course, this is what I'm playing with today. Now, we're at minus 70 at this point. And we get 14 red, so it's chopping pretty bad on us. So we are going to repeat this bet, hit the corners. We're going to take this one off, and we're going to go up a unit. So very long, bad streak. Can it recover? Will it recover? That's the reason we test before we invest. These are all ideas and theories until we learn. All right, so we got a small win right there. We're going to keep the bet right there with the dozens because that hit. Let's peel off. Let's peel off a corner. All right, see what we get here. Dang, there's another full loss. All right, repeat the bet. And we are going to keep the bets the same right there on those dozens. Increase by 1 unit, and we're going to peel off one more corner. And let's see what we get here. Minus 400. And that's a bust. This one did bust. I mean, ideally with this unit size, you probably want to have at least $1,000 bankroll. I have it set up at 500. This was a fail. This will get posted. Like I said, I post the good, the bad, and the ugly. This seemed to work well when I was just doing a little pre-testing with it. You can see we did get up. $365 was the high. You could see the nemesis right here for this strategy or stacks of strategies is going to be zeros, of course, because those are full whacks. But also that chop from the double dozens, the first and second dozen to the third dozen, that really hurt. But maybe this is not the best combination either to use. So always, test before you invest. This is something to play around with. I think another safety feature that you can add is maybe after like 2 consecutive losses, wait out until the board regulates and stops chopping between the first 2 dozens and the third dozen. That could be a safety feature. Another safety feature would be you could see how quickly it gains profit. So knowing that it gains profit fairly quick you don't have to necessarily chase, because we boosted back up to $310 and we were at a high of 365. So we were about $50 away from our new session profit, and we were already kind of high in the progression. That would have been a smart move, just to reset back to base, knowing that you could accumulate those in a couple spins. Okay. So also something to take note of. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And of course, like always, guys, be cool, stay cool. Peace.